hold of what Art Williams is
This meeting
talking
is
about
being
here and
recorded.
applying it to your life and business.
I think field training is critical. Folks, some of you are going down the toilet right now because you're miserable in field training. Folks, do you know our average sales per new recruit is 1.6? It used to be over 3 per new recruit. And that's not just code numbers, right? That's the papers running in, right? Folks, that is saying it's hard to go get people to come to an opportunity meeting, right? It's hard to get people to pay $100 or $150 to sign up, right? It's hard to get somebody to sit down and fill out one of those hiring papers, right? And to spend that kind of energy and only get 1.6 sales, how fun is prospecting out there in your area? That's the pitch, right? There's some big pluses for field training. Number one, I believe 1 hour in the field is worth 20 or 30 hours in the classroom. You know, we talked about TV training, all that kind of stuff. Folks, you go watch a stud in the field 1 hour, make a presentation, handle objections, close a sale. That is priceless training. That's the best training in the world, okay? That's one reason to do field training. Another reason to do field training is because you have your great people making that first impression to A.L. Williams, right? You got your best recruiters and best sales trainers out there field training people, so they're making that presentation. They're picking up those policies. They're recruiting those people. They're getting those referrals in that natural market, okay? The more field training sales you make, the more field training presentations you make, the more you lock that new recruit into you, right? And so if you go out there and take that guy in the field and make 5 or 10 presentations and close 3 or 4 or 5 sales and recruit a couple of people, you're locking that guy into you, right? Remember, folks, you're only one recruit away from a surgeon. And you got to make sure that you don't lose that stud, right? And so I think you got to field train everybody and think that you've got another dynamo, right, on board. Now, 3 rules in field training. Number 1, you've got to get the recruit off to a fast start. You know, I talked to you last week about guidelines. We got to get guidelines down. I mean, that first recruit ought to think to get his promotion to sales leader, all he's got to do is 3 field training sales, right? Now, sure, you got to get a license, all that kind of, but don't talk about that crap right off the bat, right? Everybody has buyer's remorse, right? If they give you a set of hiring papers, everybody's going to start thinking, you know, the next day or two, well, I'm too busy to get involved in that and all that. And if you throw them in training, folks, I mean, it could just kill their enthusiasm like you can't believe. Within 72 hours, you got to be out there picking up a policy. You got to be making a sale for them. You got to be recruiting somebody. The way you lock in a new recruit is go make a sale for somebody and let him know when he gets his license, he gets his $225 back, right? You got to be fanatical about field trainers. Go make a sale for this guy, right? Show him this thing pays off. Number 2, go recruit somebody for him, right? Everybody wants to make something off somebody else, right? And so a guy thinking that he's got a stud under him, that he can make overrides every time that guy, you lock that guy in him, right? So field trainers be fanatical, getting out there making sales and recruiting for people. And number 3, don't waste the new recruit's natural market, right? Do you understand the most precious thing you own in your business is that new recruit's natural market? That's the greatest, solves all your prospecting problem. Let me just give you an example now. Let's say you go out now and you get 1 new recruit, okay? Now you go out there and let's say this guy's got 25 referrals now in his natural market, okay? Now you're going to go in a home and you're going, if he's anything at all, he's going to get you in 10 to 12 homes, okay? And you'll pick up maybe 10 or 12 sets of policies. You'll make 8 to 10 sales and you ought to recruit 50% of those people in a natural market. That's 4 to 5 recruits. Now if they have 25 people in a natural market, now you're talking about 100 to 125 people that you started with just 1 right here, right? You're just, if you do field training right, folks, that natural market is an absolute gold mine, right? Danger in field training, folks. Danger, okay? In running a body shop where you just get a lot of people coming into meetings, but you're not getting anything out of it, right? People aren't buying. You look at the number of people that you recruit. How many of them have personal sales? If a lot of them aren't buying personal sales, there's a weakness, okay? I believe you're not getting enough field training, okay? How many sales are you averaging per new recruit? If you're averaging 1 or 2 or 3 per new recruit, folks, you got a problem with your field trainers. You're not field training enough, right? I believe I would have a goal of every field trainer. I mean, I'd have some tough field trainers, okay? Because you can train the trainers, right? You maybe can't train 100, 200 people like you would like to, everyone, but you can train the trainers, right? And then they can train their people, and then you can build a dadgum empire out there, right? Field training also helps you overcome every objection in this business. Number 1, I'm scared of sales. I love A.L. Williams. I appreciate you signing. Well, if you're scared of sales, you're going to love A.L. Williams. If you're scared of insurance, you don't want to sell insurance, man, you found the right place, right? Because I'm going to be the dude out there selling for you, okay? All you do is set up the appointment and go with me, you know, and isn't that exciting, huh? Overcome that objection, right? Another objection. I don't know if I can do that, Art. You just got a gift. You know, I mean, man, you can go through this and you just get me so excited, but I just ain't got that gift. You're a coach, you're a motivator. I mean, to sell something, I can't sell nothing, okay? You ain't got to sell nothing, right? Okay? You know, all this stuff sells itself. And all you do is go with me for as long as you need me, right? As long as you need me to sell for you and recruit you. I promise you, you'll never have to go out there by yourself until you say, Art, I'm ready to go by myself. Okay, how about that?
Any questions about that? Or comments?
That was really good.
That's very good.
He says he doesn't even bring up the licensing stuff until you're getting in the field first. I mean, you got to bring it up, obviously, but that's not the focal point.
Right.
Nor is it to get them to keep showing up to meetings,
Right.
killing them.
Now, is it good to get a license?
Yes, it is.
Is it good to show up to meetings?
Absolutely.
Yes. The one thing nobody wants to do is the topic for this morning, which is what?
Prospecting and setting appointments.
Shonda, how much do you enjoy prospecting?
I don't.
Denise?
Yeah.
Look,
I don't.
Gordon?
Oh, I love it.
You know, that's why nobody wants to get involved in anything like this, because nobody in prospecting, there is something called
Rejection.
and who wants to be rejected?
Nobody.
No one.
Nobody. Well, recruiting takes away the
The rejection.
The rejection.
Yeah.
I mean, if a brother won't sit down with a brother, what, Lynette, what does that say about the brother?
No credibility.
No credibility. But a brother should sit down with a brother. A best friend should sit down with a best friend, right? A nephew should be able to sit down with his uncle. True or false?
True.
Okay. So when you get that, when that penny drops, when you get those skills, your what problems are over?
Money problems.
Money problems.
Oh, okay.
Recruiting problems. Money
We want-
problems.
We want for you your money problems to be over here. We're going to teach you how to do that. We're going to help you do that. And all you have to do is, one of the things is become a what, Prince? Prince, you want to go full time? Guess what, brother?
Yes, sir.
You want to go full time, Prince?
Yes, sir.
Well, how you do it, brother?
Got a prospect.
I'm a
And-
trainer.
And become a field trainer.
Good trainer, yeah.
Get one new associate a week who takes you on 5 or 10 appointments a week. How you looking now, my man?
Looking pretty good.
It's
Game changer.
over, baby.
Game changer.
And why wouldn't somebody take you on appointments with what we do for people?
Yeah.
Okay. Lynette, why don't you train on prospecting?
Say what?
Say, how do you prospect, Lynette? You've been a money machine in this business. You prospect. You always have people. You're always setting appointments. You're always doing business. You're always making money. When I say, Lynette Garris, share with me your thoughts or some of the fundamentals or some of the things that have worked for you in terms of the area of prospecting and setting appointments. How do you do it? What comes to mind?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that you got to have the chicken in your pot pies. And what I mean by that is, has anybody ever gone to Popeyes and they didn't have any chicken?
Yes.
Yes. Unfortunately.
How did you feel when your palate was all wet for the Popeyes and you got to the Popeyes and they didn't have any chicken? What was your...
Oh
Beneath
my
the
God.
clothes.
I felt like, how Popeyes don't have any chicken? You're a chicken place. How you don't have no chicken? What? I
how
thought
much?
they were a horrible business and
How
should be
about that?
out.
How about that? How about that?
Yeah.
How often could Popeyes go? How long could they go in business if there's no chicken in the Popeyes?
One day.
It's no
No.
pancakes at the IHOP.
That's
It's
right.
no biscuits at
That's right.
the Popeyes, right?
Yeah.
How long?
Not long. One day. I don't think they would make it past a day. People were already
Well,
upset.
how long in a people helping business can we go? How long can our business survive if we don't have enough people to serve?
We
How long
couldn't.
can we stay in
Beautiful.
business?
We couldn't.
We
We could not.
can't. We can't. So my thought process is every time I go out, I'm going to come up with somebody. I'm going to meet somebody because why? I know I look good. I know I smell good. And I'm not saying that arrogantly. I purposely make sure that I look good and smell good when I go out every day because I'm going to come back with some new person that I'm going to talk to. I'm thankful for the last 23 years that my husband and I have been attracting enough that when we go out together, somebody says, "Oh, hey," or you can say, "Oh, hey," and nobody in 23 years, guess what? In 23 years, nobody's ever hit us, spit on us, get out of my face, nothing like that. It's always been something gentle, right, Ace? When you and Anita go out, you attract people to you. So you got to have
Yep.
that attracting kind of personality. To know that, Christian, when I talk about prospecting back in the day, you couldn't come home without numbers. You couldn't
That's
come
right.
across the threshold of this door without numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays I get people that say it's too cold to go outside.
Yeah, too cold.
It's too cold to go outside. We shovel snow purposely so we could see all our neighbors the other day just to say, hey, remember us? How's everybody doing in there? What's going on in your house?
Of course.
Okay. So those are so to be able to say that I'm moving my business because I'm constantly talking to people, and then from that person, who do you know that could benefit from my services? Who do you know that needs to set up a college savings account or those kinds of things? Because now I'm going to be getting into the right kinds of markets. When you write a life insurance sale and then you follow up with the person that has a beneficiary contact or something like that. I'm doing that today from a sale that I closed yesterday, right? And those kinds of things in order to be able to keep your business going, Christian, I can't imagine not having places to go.
Lynette, when you're out, so you're saying you just ask people, who do you know that might need a college fund, or who do you know that might be looking for a part?
Mm, mm.
How do you, when you're out and about, because that's the beginning. I mean, because I was from Miami, I moved to Maryland, I didn't have a warm market. It took me 4 years to get the courage to prospect because I was afraid. But
Well,
eventually I had to go out there and open my mouth. How
Well,
do
I'll
you
just
do it?
give you some instances.
Yes, how do you
Last
do
week
it?
I went to visit my cousin in the hospital, so I'm lost. I went all the way around, around all four corners of John Hopkins on the eighth floor, and I couldn't find. I had just been there yesterday, and I couldn't find it. So I'm looking frazzled. And so one of the nurses, I was like, "Can you help me? I'm just trying to get to, room 8A, right?" And she's like, "Oh, that's on the other side." I said, "Well, can you take me?" I
Mm.
know how I could get to 8A. I want to walk and talk. So she's like, "Sure, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate." How long have you been working at the hospital? Man, this thing is like a maze. So going through oh, it's been years, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, do you love it? You love what you do? You can't wait to get here every day. Has things changed since COVID? We still walking, talking, yeah. Okay, well, I'm actually a retirement planning specialist, and I help people, just to make sure that they have enough money, to last. Is anybody helping you with your retirement planning? Oh my gosh, you won't believe this. I was just talking to my friend the other day that I just feel like I've been thrown into this and I don't know what to do. I just left my parents' house. I got my own apartment. She's going on and on and on. Listen, thank you so much. We're here. I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Let's go ahead and exchange numbers. I'm a woman of my word. I'm going to give you a call back so I can see how I might be able to be a benefit to you. Is that fair?
That's yes. So I'm assuming she gave you exchanged numbers.
There's no assumptions. It got done.
How hard is that, everybody?
I
No
loved
time.
it.
Lynette,
She was
do you have any
intentional.
other, Lynette, do you have any
That was
other,
good.
do you have
Yeah,
any
I
other
loved that,
examples?
how intentional she was.
Yeah, the
And it
other
was just
day,
like that.
the other day I was pumping gas. And so
Hey, by the way, who pumps gas? Okay, so we
I
all
do.
pump gas.
Anybody to drive?
Now, not everybody prospects and pumps gas, but Lynette pumps some gas, but she also, Lynette,
was prospecting.
okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. So I hate it to just let the record show.
That's a man's
I
job.
I personally do not feel like I should be pumping gas, but it was my fault. I was out there too long. I didn't tell Wayne to handle the gas for me. So I'm sorry. I just have to let y'all know that's just one of the things I choose not to do is have my hands touch the gas pump, and that came from my mother. But anyway.
And Roxanne's hands have never touched it.
Exactly. That's not my deal. So anyway, I guess I'm looking all frustrated, not too happy or whatever. And so I looked up at this guy and he's like, ugh, like this. And so, to get attention. And so, so he goes, he was like, oh, I said, this is just not my thing. Oh my gosh. Whatever. It's cold. I don't have my gloves on, and all. So he was like, yeah, he's like, okay. I said, listen, I said, yeah, this is why I prefer my husband to do this. I said, you pump your wife's gas. So why am I doing it that way? Because I need him to know that, first of all, I'm not in it to try to talk to you, like talk to you. I want you to know I'm married and I want to see if you're married, which I had already peeped it out. He had a wedding band on. So I said, do you pump your wife's gas? And he was like, yeah, I do. I said, that's what I'm talking about. I said, I just missed it. I got in trouble because I was out too long. So this is like my punishment. You know what I mean? Do you live in the area? Oh, okay, cool. What kind of work do you do? Oh, man. How awesome is that? Like serving the people, he was a corrections officer, that kind of thing. When do you plan on retiring? Oh, okay, great, great. You keep your options open, earning some additional income if the money was right? Oh, man, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, listen. I'm almost done. I'm hurrying up, getting the car because it's cold. Let's go ahead and exchange information, right? I'm gonna follow up with you. You make sure you let you know that tell your wife that I'm going to be giving you a call. Is that fair?
Fair, yes.
And I exchanged information.
Who could do that?
Good job.
So smooth. Nice.
Smooth, yeah.
Who could become a great
She made it so
prospector?
approachable and easy. I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah. Does anybody
She was
have any
relatable.
questions?
Yeah, she was relatable. She actually didn't just go right into it. She kind of like baited the conversation. She knew what she was doing. So she was intentional. And then she closed it with the end. You make sure you tell your wife I'm going to be calling because I love.
Do you
And
ever
I think that there are several different ways, Christian. There are ways to prospect, there are people who are just go right in. You keep your options open for earning additional income. Hi, you keep your options open for earning additional income. That's just the way that I do it. I prefer to see if I can get you to Tom Hopkins and like me, trust me, and want to listen to me immediately. Right? I'm giving you a brilliant smile. They're going to give you a brilliant smile back. If they frown back, then all you're going to say is hi and keep it moving. I don't try to go for the hard ones because I know that, not unless they look, it depends. It's a feeling. But if you don't do it enough, then you're not going to catch that feeling. right,
Right.
Denise? When we were out there getting after it, like the
Yeah.
only way that you could get names and numbers is because you had to open your mouth.
Yeah.
You don't ask, you don't get. And then you kick rocks and say Primerica doesn't work. No, it's not that the Primerica doesn't work. You ain't working. You're not
You
doing
know
what it
what?
takes. You're not doing what it takes in order to be able to get the results. And then you look at other people and you're like, well, how did she come in the business and now she's doing this and Shonda's doing that. She got 25 recruits, whatever. Well, that's because she's opening her mouth. It's not too cold outside.
Look, like my grandma used to say, closed mouths don't get what?
Fed.
Fed.
Right.
Ma'am.
Anybody have a question for Lynette on prospecting? Are there any don'ts in prospecting, Lynette, that a new person might make a mistake?
I would say a new person, or the don'ts that you don't do is, first, you have to have some kind of confidence. You got to put yourself in the right feeling. I remember that there were times I would pull up to the Target and I was feeling frustrated about my business. Well, frustration shows on your face. So you could go into the Target and walk all the way around the Target and get back in the car and then say, hey, it wasn't anybody in there. It was lots of people in there. They needed at least 20 people to open the Target. But the reason why you didn't see anybody to talk to was because of how you're feeling. So I had to get back in the car and listen to a Tanya Poe tape. Listen, I noticed I said tape. Lord Jesus, I'm dating myself. Listen to Sean. Listen to a CD. Maybe call Gordon. Hey, what's going on? Whatever, because I know that sideline people that are in the hunt, in the dig, in the trenches, they've got their feelings are going to be great when they answer the phone, and then because we're in it together, they're going to answer the phone. It's not going to go to voicemail. So you got to get your attitude right before you get out of the car. It might be that you have to remind yourself why it is that you're doing this business. What kinds of things do you want for your family? That might help you to put some hitch in your giddy up. So for a new person, what it is that I would do is make sure that you are checking yourself. Okay. The next thing is you got to make sure that you look good, right? If you have to go to Goodwill, get a couple of nice, crisp white shirts, or, make sure that your coat is good. It's not got a bunch of dog hair on it, cat hair. I mean, you might think that these things are small things, but these are big things, right, Ace? Right? Put some gloss on your lips, ladies. Okay, well, I don't wear makeup. Okay, great. Wash your face, put some gloss on your lips. Right? Guys,
Right.
if you have locks, make sure that they're neat, make sure that they're manicured. Right? Financial services, the look of financial services is sharp and clean. It's point blank, period. Nobody's going to give you their money if you're looking dusty.
That's good.
That's true. That's good.
Right. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are different kinds of looks that come along with this, but that's what people see first. Then they hear you. They see you and then they hear you. So be
Hey,
somebody
Lynette.
that somebody wants to talk to.
And in the first 3 seconds of seeing you, or 2 seconds, they already sized you up.
Already. A man's shoes, if they runt over, that's right, I said it, runt over. Nobody, no, I'm looking at shoes. Right? Those are the kinds of things for a new person. And you might just think, oh, okay, I could just go ahead and talk to that person, talk to that person. Well, if your hair's all over the place, and stuff like that, why do you think people are going to shy away from? They're afraid of you. That's how it is that you wouldn't be getting the results.
We looking
Sure.
dusty.
Hey, Lynette, I do have a question. When you went out of the Target and you sat in your car, did you get back out of your car and did
Oh,
you walk
most
back in the
definitely,
Target?
without a
Okay, I
doubt.
just wanted to make sure because that was like what you had to. I just want to know how many did you get whenever you walked back into the Target?
Oh, I couldn't come home without 10. This was back in the day. I couldn't come
Oh,
home without 10. So if I went back in that Target, or if I went back in that Target, right? I had a goal when I went across the threshold, I was going to come out with 3, right? Because if I knew I was going someplace else. And another thing for a new person, you want to prospect without debit cards or cash.
That's
Because
a
Yes,
big one.
ma'am.
you want to
Yes,
prospect
ma'am.
without debit cards, credit cards, or cash because you
Right.
will go broke.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
Going
right.
ma'am.
going into the mall, debit card, credit, you thinking you're going to pay for something so somebody can give you their number back, you'll be broke.
If you do go out, if you decide that's what you're going to do,
If you decide, because it's cold.
it's cold, but I would get competitive too. Because I remember Lynette would be like, "Oh, I'm going into Target, coming out with 3." I'd be like, I'm sitting in the parking lot trying to figure out which lip gloss I need to put on so I could go in and, well, not the lip gloss. Sorry
Because
about
it
that.
was
The
a
fact that
game. We made it a game, right,
We
G?
did. We
I remember,
did.
I remember pulling over. I'd be pulling people on the
I
damn
love
corner.
games.
Yeah,
Love a
talking to
challenge and
talking to
everything, but
people
I like
everywhere.
that.
Hey,
So what I'm getting from this is that even whenever it's a new person that is trying to prospect, tell them if you walk back out, call the leader to give them enough inspiration to get back up and show them what they can do to get back in the game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
well,
got
you
you.
should have enough relationship with the person that's training you, right? Where in the morning you have some kind of conversation and you're saying, hey, this is my activity for the day. Gordon, this is what we're doing. I'm gonna leave here. I'm gonna do some prospecting in the morning, and then I got some appointments later on, some KTs, later on or whatever, right? So if I go in, I'm feeling some kind of way. I just had a rant with my husband, you know what I'm saying, right? These things happen. Sometimes you can't easily put yourself in a positive shell, zip zip. Okay, so you had to get yourself together. So if I'm not going to make that phone call, if I'm not going to be strong enough to make the phone call, then it's got to be something that I'm listening to. It is far too much material on YouTube. Far too much material on YouTube that you can't just dial something up. But again, it's got to be that hunger. Remember, did you hear me? If you got to be strong enough to make the phone call, that's got to take some strength. That's got to take some, why am I doing this? I literally remember one of the hardest days that I had in my business. It was probably like the 23rd of the month. I was at 0 by 0. I had both of my children. My appointment was in Harford County. I had to get them all bundled up, drive 45 minutes to get to the appointment. I get there and it's a dark house. I'm knocking on the door. I got my 2 kids with me to go in and do this appointment. I had confirmed it before we left. This was when we were on horse and buggy, right, Gordon?
Mhm.
Right? On an Yvette, right? Nobody does this anymore because you could just click in on a Zoom call and people like this won't even have their camera on. I realize some people at work. But I drove all the way to Harford County
Yes, ma'am. We are. Thank
and
you.
nobody knocked on it. Nobody was there. My son looks at me. He's like, Mommy, nobody's home. And for as much as I wanted to hit him upside the head, I wanted to burst in tears at the same time. I'm knocking, I'm looking in the window. I get in my car, I'm on fumes because I told my husband I was going to come through with something. It's the 23rd of the month. I'm at 0 by 0. I called Gordon. Phone went to voicemail.
Damn it.
I drove to McDonald's because my children were hungry. This was back when cheeseburgers were 49 cents. I had $1 and some change in the ashtray.
Mm.
I had fumes in my tank. I called Christian. I said, Christian, I need you to sell me the dream. And while my children were sitting in front of me eating their cheeseburgers, he said, Lynette, this is going to be so worth it. And he went down and he went down and he went down and he didn't know it was tears streaming down my face. And guess what I did? I went back to that house. That's just how desperate I was. And you get people that say, it's cold outside? The heck? Gordon calls me back. Nat, you okay? Yeah, Gordon, it's all good. I got another prospect on the way. I'm on my way back home.
Mm.
That's the kind of thing you have with relationships with people. That comes over time. But you also got to find those people. So it might take going through 10 people a week, 20 people a week, 50 people, whatever it takes to not have to work in 23 years and answer to a boss. You got to find that. That's how you get a Matt. That's how you get a Marcel. That's how you get a Denise Murphy. These people hungry.
That's right. Awesome.
In the middle with people, that's when.
Yay, awesome.
You don't make leaders, you find them. That was
Would you say
beautiful.
that was very powerful?
From the
Thank
heart.
Yes, ma'am.
There are people out there like Lynette Garris that are stuck in situations and they're just praying that an opportunity would come along for them that if they got involved in it would give them a chance to get out of the hole they're in, the situation they're in. Lynette was cutting hair part-time, raising kids in your basement, Lynette, was it?
Oh, no, I actually worked at my mother's salon.
Oh, mother's salon, okay. And you were earning about
a whole maybe
$1,500 a month.
$600 a month.
No.
And that was powerful in that. You see somebody like you and you're so talented. And I think we just believe that people like you have such natural talent that it was easy for you from the beginning. So for you to share your struggles, is very inspiring and really shows your humility and wanting to help other people. So thank you for that.
Wow. Oh, absolutely.
Were you positive from the get-go, Lynette? So for those of you who are newer and don't know your story.
I don't want to bore anybody with that one.
No.
Let Matt tell you.
Lynette she's like she is today all the way from day one. She was an incredible winner all the way from the very first step.
Lynette, let me ask you this, and Gordon or Ace or anybody who has done, Denise, anybody who has actually done some prospecting, okay? And I know how I feel about this. It's like, okay, we got in our mind how we think prospecting is going to be, and then we do it, and then it's actually, it's like complete, it's like thinking about it versus doing it. How different is that?
Huge.
It's huge. Like you can't think ride a bike.
Yeah.
You can't think swim. You can do a lot of thinking about it, but until you do it and then are determined to get better at it, that's just how it works.
Christian, I think the biggest part of prospecting is the conversations you have with yourself before you actually
talk about that.
What it is you're having this conversation. I'm actually reading 2 books this month. This one is called How to Unleash the Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He says one of the things he talks about habit is the conversation. If you have a problem eating, he's saying, it's not the fork going into your mouth. It's the conversations you're having in your head. So it's the same thing when you're out there talking to people. What are they going to say? Are they going to, tell me hell no, this is a scam, right? You're having this whole conversation and you talk yourself. That's the hardest part. But when you start going out, like Lynette said, one of the things I don't do, look, I'm working from home since Saturday, but I still get up, shower, shave, put on my sports jacket, right? Because it's a habit. So when I go outside and I go to the market, I just smile. You know how many people don't smile anymore? They're just down on their phones, right? So you just smile and you just have a conversation. And then, by the way, you can dress like $1 million earner and people will actually come up to you and say, hey, what do you do? I mean, I've had that happen to me. It's like, hey, man, what do you do? I see you walking up and down the building, things like that. So the hardest part, Christian, is the conversations in your head. A new person that doesn't know what to say, and then they get turned down, then they say that doesn't work. So we got to train a new person. And hey, if you're out and about, like Erica, right? I got to make sure Erica's saying the right things and she's not over talking so that she doesn't discourage to talk to the next person. So that's been my experience.
Sinead had a question. Do you still have a question?
Wait, hold on, Matt. That's the story of my life. My first 4 years, Matt, I was so afraid of doing it. I was so afraid of what was going to happen. I didn't do it. And then when I finally, after wasting all this time, when I finally got the courage to actually do it, I realized when I started talking to people that they were basically nice.
Yeah, it wasn't that hard.
No, not that hard. It was easy.
Right.
It was easy. Hey, Gordon, you look like a sharp guy, man. I got an office over here. I'm looking for some people part-time, full-time. We're doing some great things here in the community. You don't happen to know of anybody that hates their job or wants to, ambitious, looking for something new, do you? It was easy. Huh?
I might.
Yeah, right. You might not. Doesn't matter. It was easy. Nobody put me in handcuffs, put me against a wall and machine gun me to death.
Nope.
Go ahead, Matt.
Christian.
Shanae had a hand raised.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
She's ready.
Miss Lynette already answered the question already.
Okay.
Gordon.
There's a lot of different ways to prospect too. If you listen to people and success stories in the company, Lynette's approach has been my approach for years, but there are people that are making $500,000 and above in this company, and they go prospect small business owners.
Yep.
And they're direct. I do insurance and investments. Who does your insurance and investments? And they just get the conversation going. Because there's a lot of people won't go to businesses. Small business owners really get, for the most part, they don't get a lot of people calling on them. They have to call on other businesses, but they don't get many people calling on them. So there's business to business prospecting. There's, out looking for more reps, people that want to work part-time, try the business. There's all kinds of ways to prospect.
Yeah. And you got to find the way you feel good about and do it, right?
Absolutely. And then just the key is to do it and then attack. And then the other ways get easier because you've broken the ice. You've learned how to basically walk and chew gum. Because you've learned maybe ways that you do it. Like Lynette is very quick on her feet and she could do it anywhere. You could put her anywhere. That was the whole idea behind Art Williams. He said, look, I want to be able to take you, fly you anywhere in the United States, drop you from the airplane with a parachute, land, and you can build a business from where you land.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Eric,
I think one of the best things that I ever learned about prospecting. Go ahead, Erica.
Okay, thank you. I just want to know, is it too much when you're getting a new person and they are in your area, if you take them out with you and show how you do it and then have them do it so you can actually critique them and then get them comfortable instead of just telling them to go, if they're around you, like in the same city?
That's actually how we learn.
How we used to do it. Mm-hmm.
We would meet at the office, or we would meet at Home Depot, or we would meet at Walmart, and we would sit in the car and we would say whatever it is we're going to say to each other to pump each other up. I'm going to get in here, boom, boom, boom. And we'd be, me and Denise, go.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go. We would meet at Gordon's office. We would huddle up, about 5 of us in his office together. We talk about our accountability, boom, boom, boom. We would pile in one car and we would go. It's like a clown car. Go.
It's so much easier to do it with somebody else there with you and not by yourself. It's so much easier.
Christian, can I say something? Because even with the technology, I would even record the person that they didn't even, like my new prospect, not my new prospect, but my new recruit. Sure. Because some of them are real, like you said, timid, shy. Oh, I never done this before. But then whenever I record them and they see themselves, they might be able to overcome their own fear.
Yeah.
that, hey, you did this.
Mhm.
You also have to be willing to just laugh at yourself, because
Yes,
the first time you go out and do it, you may bumble over your words. And that's okay. Like Lynette has these great conversations. Me, when I go out and I start having these great conversations, then I get tongue-tied and trying to figure out how to get back around to asking them. So I don't have great conversations. I simply ask right up front, hey, do you mind if I ask you a question? And they'll say yes or no. Do you live in the area? The reason I'm asking is because I actually help run a business down the street, and we're looking for some great people, part-time to full-time. You know anybody that might keep their options open? When I prospected, that's what I did.
yes, ma'am.
We would
Christian,
be,
I
I
And
think
would
I'm
see,
guilty of actually saying the same word. My husband used to sit here and say, Erica, did you not realize you said, you know what I'm saying, about 5 times? So the role play with them before you go out into
that's
the
good.
field
That's
That's
very
will
good.
good.
probably
That's
give
real
me
good.
more
That's very
confidence, because
good.
I didn't realize that whenever I used to talk with my husband, he'll be like, do you know how many times you say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And if
Yep.
I do the role play before I tell them to go out, maybe I can cut out some of the
Yeah.
reproductive words that they
It's
keep
called
saying.
fallback words. They're called your
Oh,
fallback.
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Thank you.
But it's funny, I would see Gordon out at this was it Sam's Club up the street or
Yeah,
something?
I've seen
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was at Sam's
Costco.
Club. And I would be coming in, and then he'd be going out or something, and he'd call me, be like, don't talk to the girl in the red. I already talked to her. Or we would be in the store, and I would say, if I saw him, I knew he was in there. I'm like, what are you doing in here? I would see Ellis or something like that. I'll be, I already talked to the guy in the black leather coat. So
Right.
you have to make a game of it.
Yes, ma'am. I truly do believe everything. If you make it fun, you make it worthwhile, and then it doesn't hurt so bad. Well,
I,
it doesn't make it feel like it does.
Doesn't make
I
it seem like work.
Hey,
No,
Christian,
ma'am.
can I say something on
yeah, but
this?
Tony, I want to make this point, and then you can close it because I want to stay on time. Okay,
Okay.
this is to everybody. What must you always be keeping in your mind in regard to this type of prospecting? This is what
Why are you
drove
doing
me.
it?
This is what drove me. What's that, Matt?
Why are you doing it?
I knew why I was doing it.
Yeah,
Qualified.
but that's what you should keep in your
No,
mind.
keep going.
When you say this type of prospecting, you mean like cold prospecting?
Yep,
Okay,
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
it's gonna take a lot more effort
Nope,
in that market.
nope,
I'm only going to have to do this for a little bit of time.
correct.
Yeah, you want it to be not forever.
I knew that I was looking for a certain amount of people, and that number was
7 to 10.
10.
7 to 10.
10. It was 10. Jerry Beyer did a school. He gave us a sheet of paper to fill out. If you get 10 directs showing up, 10 directs licensed, 10 directs making 1,000 a month, 10 directs making full time, 10 directs RVPs making 100, making $1 million a year. So I said, okay. I don't need to get 10 recruits every month. I just need to get 10 that want to do this. So I was working for I was prospecting temporarily, and I did it a lot in 1990. Why?
Because you didn't want to have to do it any longer.
Right. I wanted to get it over with, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Weidel did a talk on Jennifer, you're a nurse. You ever give shots?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine I'm the patient, you're the nurse, and you say, Christian, take a look at this needle. Look at what I'm going to do with this needle. It's now touching the tip of your skin. I'm going to put it in just a little bit. It's going through the dermis, epidermis, and imagine if it took you like a minute and you explained everything you're doing during the shot.
No, you'd freak everybody out.
Correct. People get freaked out in our business because they think they have to do it forever. I knew this was temporary prospect. I was getting it over with. I had to find this amount of people. So I knew in my mind, I was saying, okay, Christian, I don't want to do this. And I'm not going to have to do it forever, but I got to do it to get where I want to go. So I'm willing to do a lot of it so I can get it over with. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That drove me like crazy. And Mike Karczewski, Tony Reyna said, Mike Karczewski is who? Gordon, maybe you're the only one who knows who's Mike, or maybe Donnie knows Mike Karczewski.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Ace, come on. Mike Karczewski, Duke basketball. Seriously?
No.
Nobody?
Was like,
Are you sure that's his name?
Okay.
Mike Karczewski.
Mike Krzyzewski?
Krzyzewski. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, Mike Krzyzewski. I know who that is.
Mike Krzyzewski.
We know who that is.
Mike Krzyzewski, everybody knows him.
Duke
Right.
He's a winner.
Mike
I know
Krzyzewski.
his last
Something
name
like
is
that.
a tongue twister.
Okay.
It is.
He said,
Coach K.
right, Coach K. He said the toughest opponent you will ever face
Yourself.
is human nature. As a coach, you got to coach yourself up and you got to coach other people up. And Gordon, Lynette, Ace, the toughest person, the toughest opponent, the toughest enemy we all have is our own human nature. Because human nature says what?
You can't do it.
Comfortable. Get comfortable. Don't do it.
Comfort.
I'd rather sit on the couch than get on the treadmill. Right or right?
Right. Correct.
I'd rather not prospect than prospect. I'd rather not set appointments than set up. If the toughest battle we all have is our own human nature to just get by and be average.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a place.
Look in the mirror.
That's right. This is a place where you can climb above average. So just realize that, and understanding that massive prospecting is temporary. You're looking for a certain amount of people, or Gordon, a certain amount of
Clients.
assets under management.
Assets under management. There you
Assets
go.
under management or asses under management. One or the other, or both. Tony, let's close this out. And Ace, we're on tomorrow with Frank Dillon. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to call him right now just to confirm.
Confirmed, $2 million earner. Frank Dillon, tomorrow morning, how to create Navy SEALs. And do you think Navy SEALs are field trainers?
Navy SEAls are the best in the world, bro.
Best field trainers. Imagine if you just had 3 good field trainers, what that would mean to you. 3, just
By the
do
way,
it.
Chris,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. By the way, we hit 30 new associates yesterday.
Yes.
So that's back to November and December and January. So we're excited about that. And
Awesome.
11 people are about to get their licensing class. So we're excited.
Great job. Tony Reyna.
Wow.
Great job, Ace.
Tony
first
Reyna is,
of
by the
all,
way, the best prospector I think we have,
Well,
or the most consistent anyway.
here's what I know about prospecting. This is for new people. You cannot develop the skill what Lynette just showed. She didn't come with this. Denise said certain things. So we have the fundamentals, and prospecting is the top fundamentals. And if you want to be good here, you need to know all the fundamentals, not one or the other. Whether you like it or you don't like it, that doesn't matter. If your goal is to become a field trainer, prospecting is a part of it. And the way you learn every single thing in pieces. So you want to have 1 line or 2 lines mastered what you're going to say, same thing over and over. So congratulations to Jeanette. She just qualified to become a district leader.
Way to be, Jeanette.
She has 1 line only. I said, Jeanette, I want you to keep saying this line over and over. She said, what I say after that? I said, you don't need to know right now. By the end of the month, by tomorrow, I think by today, she would have her 5th new direct. The 3rd direct she has, I'm working with the Christians. Yesterday, I met with her. We set 5 appointments with her. So I said, Jeanette, you go get the license now. I'm going to help you develop this person. She needs to work on 1 line. So till you tell me you're good in 1 line, then we'll tell you the other stuff. So 1 line, what you need to say that creates an interest. And after that, you cannot say anything, and they'll tell you. So while you're learning that, 1 line, 2 lines, and that's all you need to learn in the beginning. As you get mature in a business, then you become an ace and Denise and that. So that's all I wanted to say, Christian.
Okay, and it doesn't take long, Tony, to learn that one line, though. That doesn't take more than a half hour.
No, 10
Can I
minutes
say
if
one
you
thing
want.
real
10
quick?
minutes, okay? Let's not.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yes.
Allison taught me this. I prospected for a long time, and I'm not afraid to talk to people, and it's easy to have a conversation for me. But into asking them about the business was something that I've struggled with a lot. And Allison taught me, by the way, you have a conversation about whatever you want to have a conversation about, and then you walk away and you turn around and you come back and you say, by the way, I have a business. And now it makes the business not feel so weird and like you actually forgot to say anything, and then you thought about it, and it's all planned, and it's the best prospecting tool for me that I've ever learned, and I can't believe that I never learned it until recently.
Yeah, that's true. Because the longer you delay talking about it, having a conversation, the more like a goofball you feel, because you know that you are trying to accomplish something specific. That's why Denise just wants to get it over with. Because she realized if she stands in the grocery or the gas station talking to somebody, and doesn't ever bring up what she's talking about, she's the more weird she's going to feel. And the more she's never going to say anything at all. And she's going to say, okay, well, nice talking to you. See you later.
Only so much you can say about the snow.
Yeah.
Well, even like a new person that's afraid to prospect, just learn to start having conversations with people.
Right.
And then understand that you don't even have to prospect them, but have a conversation, and people aren't going to be that mean, and then figure out a way to, Christian always says that this isn't a script because this is what I was doing. I got a business behind the Costco. I'm growing the business, and it's not a script, and it's not when you believe that you really have a business, but until you understand the business, most people just think this is a thing that they're trying. But when you believe that you have your own business and
this is your business,
what you're doing is what you're doing, then it's not prospecting anymore. It's not scripting anymore. It's just simply looking for the people that you need to find.
Matt, when I die, we're all going to die. You die with your nursing job, Jennifer. What happens?
It dies with me.
It dies with you. Yes, somebody else gets that. When I die, when you die, when I die, my business goes to my wife or my kids. Hello? You understand that?
Your job just hires another person. They eat potato salad, stand around and say, oh man, we miss Gordon. That potato salad's good though. Who's coming next?
It's all over.
Yeah.
You build your assets under management. You build a team of people. When you die, now there's a legacy, inheritance. You're building something of your own. Ownership. Do you understand how special that is? When prospecting, you're offering people a chance to change their life generationally. This is not some little subject. Let's realize somebody prospected me, and what did that do for my family? It changed everything. Changed Lynette's family. Changed Gordon. We all got prospected somehow, some way. Let's go make it a great day.
Have a great day, folks.
Appreciate it.
See you tomorrow.